You've been pushing, trying to catch up for months now. Your to-do list has felt like a full-time job, and yet you still feel behind. This video is for the woman who's working hard but still wondering, why isn't this clicking? Because the truth is, hard work isn't the problem, but the way you're working, it's keeping you stuck in survival mode. Most people think burnout means you're weak, inconsistent, or lazy. But I've worked with enough high-achieving Black women and women of all kinds to know burnout doesn't come from a lack of effort. It comes from trying to hustle your way through without a method to your madness. And sis, no amount of willpower can fix a broken system. You're not broken. You're just running on vibes and a vision board with no real system to support your success. And that's what I'm going to walk you through today. Why hard work alone isn't enough, what strategy actually looks like, and why it's softer than you think. That the real mindset shift that helped me finally finish my goals without spiraling, and the system I use to make rest a requirement, not a reward. So if you've been stuck thinking, I just gotta work harder, this is the shift that's going to set you free. So what you're doing now versus what strategy actually looks like. You wake up, you think about all the things you meant to do yesterday. You stack them on top of what you need to do today. And you say to yourself, I'll just work a little longer tonight. I can still get it done. Except the first task takes longer than you thought. Your phone won't start buzzing. The kids need help and life starts lifing. And then by the end of the day, you're right back in that thought loop. I'm so behind. But here's the truth. You're not behind. Your approach is just broken. Real strategy doesn't mean rolling your to-do list into the next day and hoping for the best. It means taking a step back and asking, does the way I'm working actually match the life I'm living? Because when you're trying to build a soft life on top of a chaotic system, you're always going to feel like you're failing, even when you're doing your best. If you're tired of guessing your way forward, I want you to take my soft life assessment. The link is in the description below. It's just 9 questions. You'll get a personalized report to finish without pressure and finish this year with peace. But if you don't pair that realization with this next point, you'll keep blaming your effort instead of fixing your foundation. So why hard work isn't enough? Let's get real. Hard work is not the enemy, but if it's the only tool you're using, you're already set up to fail. For high-achieving women, especially Black women, we are taught to push through, to get it done, to stay strong. But strength without support leads to straight breakdown. And if you vibe with that, watch this video by Ellis Ever After called Navigating Burnout. It's a perfect companion to the strategy that we're walking through today. So hard work without a system means your energy gets used up fighting fires instead of flowing towards results. You don't need more willpower. You need a rhythm that protects your peace and your progress. That's the real power of strategy. It doesn't make you lazy, it makes you intentional. But even with this clarity, there's one skill most people don't talk about enough. And it's the one thing that keeps your goals moving without burning you out. Here's the secret that high achievers overlook. The smartest people don't power through. They pivot. A pivot is a simple 4-step cycle. Focus, act, learn, and tweak. And the key, you don't throw everything out when it doesn't work. You adjust with compassion and you keep going. So this is where momentum comes from. Small, strategic tweaks, not massive overhauls. Your nervous system doesn't need more pressure. It needs safety and rhythm. And when you learn to pivot instead of panic, you stay aligned even when life throws you a curveball. Now let me show you how this plays out in real life. Because I didn't always get this right, all right? In corporate America, this looked like every time a job wasn't working for me, I had no qualms about leaving. I just started looking for another job and dip out. And then the new job would feel great at first, until I drift into the same exact feeling that made me leave the last one. I didn't realize until much later that I wasn't fixing the problem. I was just changing location. I thought freedom would come from finding a better job. But what I really needed was to define what I needed from work and from my life for me to actually feel fulfilled. I kept changing the job, but what I really needed was to pivot my life. Fast forward to entrepreneurship. So let me be real. I jumped in full of mission and purpose. But deep down, I was still trying to prove I could make it. I was still grinding like the girl in corporate America. I just swapped cubicles for chaos. I made business decisions based on money, not what actually made sense. And I didn't have a real method. And when I couldn't meet my own ridiculous standard, I coped by listening to every guru on the internet. Spoiler alert, that's not strategy. That's just a whole bunch of throwing spaghetti at the wall, and it sucks. It wasn't until I learned to pivot strategically and ground myself in a system that things started to change. I stopped floating and started building. And now I've built a rhythm that protects my rest, anchors my ambition, and helps me finish every year strong before the holidays even hit. So whether you're on a 9-to-5 or building your dream business, the answer isn't to push harder or to start over. It's to build a strategy that prioritizes rest while you go after your ambitions, not your need to prove or your money fears. Now that you see the value of a system, I'm going to walk you through the 3 core things you need for a full burnout recovery and my 9-step strategy to help you get there without spiraling into hustle mode. It's this video right here. But if you don't see it yet, it's coming. I'll be publishing it soon. See you in the next video.